If you've been following the channel for any length of time, recently you probably know that I'm on a bit of a Gerard Way kick. I love his voice, I love how expressive it is. Sometimes, yes, only sometimes, I really love the YouTube algorithm because as I start going down rabbit holes, it shows me things. And I found this raw recording of Gerard going through drowning lessons in the studio, looping it, and the producer was kind of speaking, try this again, try that again.
Play it back, it actually sounds good.
I listened to this line, I looped the video a bunch of times, and I was like, I have got to talk about this on the channel. What he's doing with his voice is absolute gold. Listen and watch. First of all, he's like into that mic and moving around. And
I could turn dances in there. Fucking dance.
He's not self-conscious at all. He's just immersed in delivering this energy. Okay, that's the overarching theme we need to keep in mind. The words he's singing, we can wash down this engagement ring with poison and kerosene. But you hear him hawk. You hear this sighs. When's the last time your vocal coach gave you an exercise like either of those things? Listen again to the kind of engagement that's happening with his singing in the midst of these sounds. Engagement ring! Hawk! If we sigh and then really try to choke and then let our voice engage in any way that it sort of does without trying to force anything, but just kind of take what comes, we get this really interesting false chord engagement. But then he goes a step further. He starts singing in a normal voice after that. What if you hawk and then go into a note? I love to sing. I love to sing. Yeah! There's some really interesting things that happen there. Now, the second part where he's saying kerosene. This belly laugh. Yeah. I strongly encourage you to take it out of the lyrical context that he's using so you don't try to imitate him, but really experiment with what you're doing. Jolly. Jolly! Jolly! But square this with your actual singing. Jolly! Never mind, I'm saying jolly and not jolly. Who cares? Jolly! 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 Oh! Jolly! With kerosene! I'm jolly! With kerosene! Yeah! I have to admit, when I was first listening to Gerard Way, I did not pull this stuff out of his voice, and I certainly didn't think to try it in my own voice. But over the years, and certainly as I've gotten more into what he's done and lots of other vocalists, this way of learning, pulling these strange secondary sounds, seemingly secondary sounds, out of these vocalists and experimenting with my own voice, not being afraid that I'm going to sound stupid, not even really being afraid that I'm going to hurt myself. You're not going to hurt yourself. When I started to embrace this way of learning about my voice, everything opened up for me. And I hope as you try this stuff, the same will be said for your journey. If you'd like more help unlocking your voice and you like my unconventional approach, click the link below and join my free voice course, and I'll help you do just that. And for more on my rabbit trails about Gerard Way, check out this playlist. Ick. Ick, ick, ick! Everyone has it in their voice. Great singers know how to flaunt it. Listen to how Robert Plant uses it, even when he's not singing that high, to bring about energy and momentum with his voice. And then when he is singing high, and listen to how Matt Bellamy goes in and out of ick. Because I choose to strive. There's definitely some more mellow and somber notes within what he's doing, but these icky notes, this icky posture seems to come through very, very often. Interestingly enough, you don't hear it so much when these singers are just talking.
There is something that ties you together if you've been together since teenage years.
Except maybe here, just a little bit, if you know what you're listening for.
And jump about and scream and shout and listen.
But Zane Lowe gets pretty icky as he playfully mocks Matt Bellamy at the beginning of this interview. Everybody can use ick. And if we all used a bit more ickiness in our singing, we would unlock all sorts of wonderful things. Great high notes. Freedom of expression. Lack of static, boring resonance that seems to flood out of the mouths of so many practicing singers that aren't happy with their voice. The easiest way to find your ickiness is to start by imitating characters that have no business in the area of singing.
I'll get you, my pretty.
I'll get you, my pretty! But a key component to making ickiness work well is often missed. Listen to how the witch's character voice goes in and out of this icky, bright, brash sound.
Who killed my sister? Was it you?
She's darker, she's compressed,
The slippers. Yes.
she's gritty,
Very well. I'll bide my time.
and yes, very, very icky in certain spots.
Just try.
Much like we hear Matt Bellamy doing, going in and out of ick. Start by speaking like the witch, going in and out of ick. There's a lot of nasality, it's bright, it's brash, your teeth are shown, you're smiling, and then you're going the other direction, and you're becoming somber. And then you're lifting something heavy, and you're combining all these little things just as you're speaking. If you practice being all loose and icky with your speaking, and then combine it with a bit of swagger, and really go back and forth between these two dynamics, your voice will be unlocked because you're encouraging your vocal anatomy to take on different postures and positions that get you out of your normal way of speaking. Then, take your ickiness to short phrases or short parts of songs and see how variety-oriented you can be. Don't go for any specific notes. Just see what this dynamic way of using your voice exposes. You'll be amazed at what kinds of notes you can hit without even trying. Everybody's got the ick factor, but not everybody knows how to use it in a way that makes their singing a lot better. For more help figuring out what your voice can really do, click the link below and join my free voice course. And if you'd like to learn more about how great artists use their voice to get crazy, awesome sounds, try this video. Hey, Chris Liepe here, helping you make music. Guitar, voice, recording. And there's one thing that ties all music together, and it's our ears. And in this video, I'm going to share with you the foundation for a great musical ear. So here it is. Learn to internalize the major scale and start thinking about it not as just notes, but as numbers. So most of us are familiar with the sound of the major scale. And most of us can play that. What we want to do is start making the connection between each note and a number. This is a C major scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. we want to call the first note, C, we want to call that 1. A lot of people refer to this as root, but we're going to call it 1 for now. 1, and we're just going to count up as we play this major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Those notes are the same. They're just an octave apart, so they're both going to be called 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. You could really play the scale anywhere, in any way, in any key. Once you've associated the numbers with the sound of the major scale, this gets you started on the path to developing a great ear. So we could take this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, and we could play it in the key of G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, where it really gets cool is when we start being able to sing the major scale with numbers, for now in order, with a tonal center. So let's choose A. If we can, with our voices, without playing the major scale along with our singing and just providing that solid tone, we are exercising our ear. And even if you're not that comfortable with singing, this is a great exercise. It's going to make you more comfortable with your voice for sure, but it's going to solidify a lot of things in your mind when it comes to your ear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's take it to D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I don't really care what notes I'm singing. I don't care that that's a D. 1. I don't care that 2. I don't care necessarily that that's an E. Although I've grown to be able to realize those things over time. What I really care about is that I'm singing the correct intervals over whatever my 1 is. I'm playing the 1 and I'm singing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1 with the single note that I'm playing. This gets even more fun when you start introducing a chord and rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Once you've got the scale down in your ear and in your voices in order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you've learned it as sort of a melody and kind of tucked it away in your mind, we want to start messing up the order of the notes we're singing. So everything that we sing over a particular chord is going to have a number assigned to it. We're going to continue the process of thinking about the major scale in terms of numbers, and we're going to scramble up the order so that we can start thinking of each interval, which is the distance between each note, or in this case, the distance between the root or the 1 and another number. We want to start thinking of those distances as musical pieces in and of themselves. For example, 1, 2, 3, 1 to 3, 1, 3, that sound, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, has a particular sound. Because we're going from 1 to 3, we're going to call that a third. If we go from 1 to 5, 1, 5, 1, 5, we're going to call that a fifth. If we go from 1 to 4, we're going to call that a fourth. 1, 4, 1, 7, call that a seventh. So choose a chord, choose a good old strum pattern, and see what you can do just going from note to note, all the while keeping the numbers in mind. I guarantee you this is going to be huge for your ear. It's the foundation for so many things. being able to harmonize with another singer, being able to pick out notes that you hear and play them before you even play them. You won't have to hunt and peck for notes as much because you're going to have these numbers and these tones associated in your mind already. 1, 3, 4, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 5, 6, 5, 7, 6, 5, 5, 4, 3, 1. I'm grounding my ear in the 1 both with my voice by coming back to the root quite a bit, or the 1 quite a bit, and I'm grounding myself, my ear, with my guitar, with that E chord in this case, but you could use any chord. Just make sure that you're centered in it, and then do exactly what I did. It's about being creative using the numbers, associating numbers with notes over a particular musical context that you invent. This is a great way to get started developing your ear. Let me know how it goes. We'll see you for more. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 1. Hey, Chris Liepe here, and we're talking about ear training in this video. All my videos are about helping you overcome certain obstacles so that you can record, play your guitar, and sing better, make great music. A lot of people think ear training is this vast, complicated topic, and they're not really quite sure where to start. Here's where you start. You start by learning to play a major scale, and then with your voice, doesn't have to be a good voice, but engage your voice, sing a third above each scale degree, and get good and familiar with how that sounds and how that feels. Why is this where you want to start when you're ear training? Well, the major scale is the foundation of almost all the music we listen to, and the harmony that is in that major scale, there's a lot of depth there. But if you start internalizing what happens with the third above any one of the scale degrees, you're cracking open quite a bit of depth. Let me demonstrate. Most of us know the sound of the major scale, and we can play it. Most of us can sing the major scale. La 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 la. Most of us can sing and number the major scale, or play and number the major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And if you don't know how to do that stuff, do that. Get to where you can number those and make those associations. Very, very valuable. But can you play one note and then visualize in your mind's ear, what a third above, or what any note above, any concrete note above, is going to be, and then react to it with your voice? And then the next transition from there would be being able to play it with your guitar. It's about making this connection between your ear, your voice, and your guitar. Once you're able to do that, you're able to pre-visualize what you're going to sing or play before you actually play it. This leads to less mistakes. This leads to being able to play over chord progressions that you didn't think maybe you could play over, ultimately improving your improvisation exponentially. And starting with thirds because they're musical and they help with establishing a knowledge of the major scale harmony in general is awesome. We can play those thirds to get our voice centered, and then we'll merely sing them. La, O. Let's go on O. remember, you don't have to be a great singer. And you can always drop down an octave if you are having trouble, or change the key if you're having trouble hitting a certain note. That's no big deal at all. Now, why do some of those thirds sound major or minor? Well, when we're putting a third on top of that each scale degree, we need to stay within the key signature of that major scale. So in this case, we're in C. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. We need to make sure that we're not using any other notes outside of C, but we need to go an interval of a third up. If we just said all of them were going to be major, we're using a note that's not natively in that key. So we're not sticking to major scale harmony. So not only are we engaging in thirds, but we're forcing our ears to stick within major scale harmony, thereby reinforcing the overall harmonic structure of the major scale. Let's go over the thirds harmony on the guitar again. And if you want diagrams, scale diagrams, and the harmony diagram, be sure to click the link below for further reference to cement these in your head a little bit more. Also played. This is more linear. So now if we harmonize with our voice. And then experiment with it. Noodle around a little bit with it. Put yourself through this simple ear training exercise, learn how to harmonize in thirds with a major scale, and you're going to see dividends in your musical life like you wouldn't believe. And if you want to learn more about your voice, free it, and learn what it can really do, click the link below and join my free voice lesson training. Let me know what you think of this exercise in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe if you like the videos. Talk with you soon. Hey everyone, Chris here. This video is a response to a question I got over YouTube, a hack to help find the key of a song. And I'm going to add a little something to that. Find the key of the song even if you don't have your guitar with you. We'll start with our guitar and then I'll show you how, and I'll put it down. And so what we're going to do is I've got a Spotify playlist here called All New Indie. I just pulled it up real quick. And I'm going to show you my method for finding the key. And I do this all the time. I just did it the other day with my son in the car. We were identifying keys. oh, this one's probably in A, or this one's probably in E, or whatever. And I was using this method, and of course I'm driving, so I didn't have my guitar. So here's where it's a process. Here's where I start with this method. First, find the lowest note you can possibly sing and identify what it is. That's about as low as I can possibly go. Low, low. Now, I happen to know that is E or close to an E because I've done that before. It's very hard to hit, even on a good day. And I don't know if I would really even sing that in a song, but it is the lowest note I can hit. And so I go off of feel, and I use that as a reference pitch. If I'm listening to a song and I want to figure out what key it's in, I listen to the song, and then I listen to, I find home, which more on that in a minute. And then I feel with my voice, okay, there's my E. And then I listen for where home is in the song and relate that to the pitch using intervals. So there's the importance of intervals in ear training. There's a lot to be said for that. But here's where you can start developing that intervallic awareness, even without your guitar. Find your lowest pitch. And then learn to sing a major scale from it. And before I forget, if you want to free your voice, if you want to discover more about what your voice can do for free, follow the link below, and you'll get a 3-part video series where I teach David Walliman how to free his voice. It's a lot of fun, and there's some ear training that goes along with that as well. Okay, back to this. Sing a major scale from the lowest note you can possibly hit with your voice. I'm going to double check that with the guitar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, that's the first step. Get good and comfortable with that lowest note and knowing what it is. I've heard a lot of people say this, but they say, well, my lowest note varies from day to day. It might. And so you might be an E crack or not quite there some days, might not be able to hit the very lowest, or maybe some days you can go lower. I've found, though, that it's not like a whole step lower or even a half step lower or a half step higher. It's usually just right around that crackville, if I have a cold or whatever. So then what I do is listen to the song and then relate what I'm hearing in the song to that lowest note. Now, I don't think I've heard any of these songs in this playlist, all new indie. I'm just going to play the first little bit till I get a sense of the song, and then I'm going to try to figure out what key it's in. So let's give this a try. Low. That happens. I did not know that, I promise. That's E. That's got to be E. And notice how it's home in this case. I can identify it even on the first 20 seconds or so. It started with that note, then it went to a different note. The bass line moved a little bit, and the little twinkly things did different things, and then it went back. So I'm pretty confident that that's home. It might change somewhere in the song. We might change keys, but I'm pretty confident that that's home. the next one on the list. Oh, here's my lowest note. Okay, that's different. Okay, now I'm not going to use my guitar right away. I'll check myself. Oh, la, 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 la. What interval is that? La, is that right? La, la, la. Okay, so it's major. La, la. La, 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 la. Okay, so what I did is I did my lowest note, la, la, octave higher, and then I went down to the pitch that I'm hearing here. La. Now that distance, la, la, is a distance of a minor third. So if I've got an E as a third above what I'm hearing here, a minor third above. Now I realize this is major, but I'm relating to my lowest pitch. Then a minor third lower than E would be C sharp. Because C, E, that's an interval of a third. So a minor third, we got to raise that lower note up. La. So that's the lowest note. La, la, there it is. La. La. C sharp crack. Okay, let's see if I got it right. C sharp crack. La 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 la. Yep. So now is it major or minor? Now I checked myself there, but I got that note. I caught that was in C sharp without even using my guitar. Now it sounds major to me. Definitely home here. La. There's some other chords there. So that'd be da, da. Yeah. So it's going to the 6 minor and then to the 5 chord there. But so this is all because I'm familiar with how my voice works, and my ear is trained to be able to identify those intervals simply by hearing them and then singing them, translating from what I'm hearing to what I'm singing, and then being able to check it with the guitar. This is so incredibly valuable, when you're communicating music in a group setting, or if you're trying to figure out just what key a song is in while you're driving down the road with someone in your car. It's a fun challenge. Let's try one more. Fishing for fishies. Cool beat. La, there's my low E. Da. Da. There's home. That's what it keeps going back to. La. 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 Okay, so that one. La. There's my low E. And there's the home. I know that distance, la, la, is a distance of a fourth. So I'm going to say that this song is in the key of A, and A major. Listening again. La, A, G major. Then it goes to a D. So again, I'm learning by ear what those chords are without even playing them, because I'm familiar with the intervals. And that's all in my head. So la, la, let's see, am I right? A. Yep. So there's my hack for figuring out what key songs are in. And as you can see, it extends beyond just figuring out the key. I was quoting the chord progressions for songs I haven't heard because I am able to identify the intervals. So it starts with being able to find the key. But if your ear is tightly trained, you can
you can figure out entire chord progressions without ever picking up your guitar, which is super handy because then when you do pick up your guitar, you already know what you're going to play. Again, I feel like that this, for me, starts with my voice. You don't have to have a great voice to do this. You just have to have a good enough voice to sing a major scale, start getting familiar with the intervals without your guitar. So if you want to take this deeper, join my free voice course below and see what happens. Thanks for the question. We'll see you for more real soon. Sometimes all your song needs is a few simple, strategically placed parts to really come alive. Hey, my name's Chris Liepe, and in this lesson I'm going to show you how to place those simple parts, and more than that, I'm going to show you how to think simple for your song's benefit. I think so many times we as guitar players tend to think in, if it's challenging for me, or if it's totally new to me, then that's what I should be not only practicing, but that's what I should be incorporating into my songwriting. And, well, there is a place for that, for sure. Sometimes we need to learn to dial it back and think incredibly simply. And with that comes the mindset of fitting parts together in ways that become greater than just the part itself when you start combining these ideas. But you have to learn how to think like an arranger. And that's what we're going to cover in today's lesson. Be sure to download this example track by clicking the link below. I've provided two different versions. One has all the parts in that we worked on today, and the other one is without those parts. And so you can practice coming up with your own layers and fitting them in, fitting your pieces into the puzzle. So be sure to download that track. Just click the link below. So the chord progression is C to D. That's pretty much it once it gets into things. And it's a testament to what arranging can really do. Typically you'd think of, strumming. We're not doing anything much more complicated than that. We're just making sure that we're fitting lines together. So here's the first one. C. To D. That's it. And if we listen to that in context, it sounds like this. Here we go. It's driving that arrangement. And the second little piece of the puzzle is this octave line here. And it goes like this. It starts here. Builds up to the C, D. Stays there. Adds some tension while the chord changes. And you can hear how these two pieces fit together. Turning this one up. The point here isn't really to learn these lines. The point is to hear them isolated, hear them together with the band, with the arrangement, and realize as you do similar parts how you can take extremely simple parts and put them together, make them complement each other and fill out an arrangement. It's not always just about the rhythm and the lead. It's not always just about showing what we can do on the guitar or applying the newest thing we know. It's about taking little pieces and creating an arrangement. With that, let's go to the last piece of the puzzle. So I've got a lot of reverb, some delay, and I'm using some tremolo picking here. Such a simple line. And then that part brought up in the arrangement for you. So we've got simple arpeggiated chords. We've got some octaves. Pretty much that simple. And then we've got some tremolo picked lines with delay. Part of this is knowing how to dial in your effects so that each one of the parts complements one another. If you notice, the original line that we worked with is glassy. It has some highs, it has some presence, it cuts through the mix. It drives the momentum of the arrangement. And that's intentional. To complement that with the octaves, I rolled back my tone knob and I rolled back the sound of the amp. I turned the highs and the presence all the way down. I wanted that movement felt, but I didn't want it to cover up the movement of the primary driving line, which was the first line that we worked on. And then both of those were drier, and I wanted something that also added to movement, but in a different way. So that's where the tremolo picking line came in. There's a lot of movement there, the really fast picking, but I wanted that to sort of blur into the background, almost function more as a pad. So these are the kinds of things you think about when you are layering your own parts. Remember, sometimes the simplest chord progressions can be so cool sounding if you place things correctly in your mix and your arrangement. So I hope this inspires you. I hope it gives you some ideas. Be sure to download both versions of the track and try this for yourself. Boot up your recording software. See what you can do. I'd love to hear what you come up with. See you for more.